I hope the announcements have gone into the expo hall because there are companies in there who may have won. We've got over 30 nominations, and we want those folks to join us. And we've closed the expo hall from 4 to 5. We're asking people to join us in here. Then at 5 o'clock, when we're done in here, we'll open it up for the evening reception. We really appreciate everyone being able to join us for that. And I also want to acknowledge, I made the statements about the National Retail Federation has acquired the RLA about a year and a half ago. You're seeing some of them here willing to talk about what the future will consist of. The roadmap is not perfectly drawn yet. We're working on it, but we're also looking for input from those of you who are members, especially the premier members, and you're getting to talk to them while they're here. I also want to thank all of you that have helped provide speakers and panelists. It's been really important. And I want to stress again, with the NRF acquisition, you heard Scott this morning talk about, and I report to Stephanie Martz there, CAO. They talk about how timely this purchase was with what you hear about California legislation, with what's going on elsewhere, digital passports in Europe that are going to make their way here to identify products. So there's a lot of things happening, and I want to make sure everyone knows I'm around. I'm not leaving after this show. I'm actually on contract through September of 2026. In addition to our conference next year, we do the Leadership Summit. We're moving it to Dallas. It'll still be in September. It'll still be with facility tours. So there will be a leadership in Dallas this September, and then in September of 26, we may have a really nice party because that could be my last month, although they keep telling me, stop talking about 26, let's talk about 2030. I'm not sure I can last that long, and I'm so proud that there's been other great voices of the RLA team and of the RLA community that have been on stage. You didn't have to listen to me nonstop like last year, and I love the microphone. I really hold on to it a lot. So without further ado, if your colleagues are out there, ping them and tell them to get back in. Again, the awards will happen in about 30 minutes. I am very privileged and proud to call Michelle James a friend, an industry thought leader, and one of the hardest working women I've ever seen in the planet. And she's accomplished a lot. So without further ado, Michelle, come on up.
Let me not trip on the stairs on the way up.
We'll change to a ramp next year.
Thank you, dear.
All right. Before I give her the clicker, I also want to add the awards presentations. I sweet-talked Michelle into being my Vanna White to help present the awards. So she dressed up a little for us, and she even put on heels. We're grateful and glad she's willing to endure some punishment for this, and we're really glad she's staying on stage with me. There will be a raffle drawing, all that kind of stuff. So join us, stay with us, and here's some great information.
So what are you saying, Tony? I don't wear heels all the time? I am very appreciative of the relationship I've had with Tony for a long time now. I think at the opening comments you asked, when was your first RLA? I think my first RLA was actually 2018. And I'm also very proud to call Tony a friend, but I want to just take a really quick minute. I know how hard it is to pull off these events. I know how hard it is to gather, convene, and create an experience. So I'd like to do a really big shout out and hand of applause for the entire RLA team for all the hard work that they do. So I know several of you in the audience, I can't see, the lights are really bright up here. I'm sure I have a heckling squad or a fan club out there somewhere. But I wanted to really just walk through sort of what we've been doing in the mobile space, in the wireless space. When we're saying wireless, we're talking about smartphones, tablets, product categories that are basically connected to a cellular network. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michelle James. I am working with CTIA, although I've been in the wireless industry for 100 years. I started when I was 12, in case you're trying to do the math. But in all seriousness, I have spent a lifetime in the wireless industry, and I can't imagine another place to be. I also have a very big sweet spot for the retail side of the house, specifically relating to our mobile industry, as well as all of the supply chain. We're going to talk a little bit today about the advancements that we've been able to make collaboratively as an industry by working together, which sounds really easy on paper and a lot harder to do in real life. Gives me a lot of gray hair, but I love it, and I think we've done some really great things. But if there's anything that we've done relative to how we've sort of stood up a framework to what I like to think of is, walk the talk for sustainability. It isn't just a sexy headline. It isn't just, I got to get a check mark. It isn't even just necessarily waiting for policymakers to tell us what to do. It's what do we need to do as an industry to put our best foot forward for the betterment of consumer experience, for supply chains to be able to trust each other, and for consumers to be able to trust the products that are both coming in and going out through all the channels that we're touching. So that's kind of how we have looked at, how do we actually focus on sustainability? More than, like I said, more than just a headline. Folks ask me all the time, what does CTIA stand for? I will tell you, I'm not sure it's right or not, but because we don't actually go by what the acronym stands for anymore, but it was the Cellular Telephony Internet Association. Now we're just CTIA, the Wireless Industry Trade Association, or the Wireless Association, I think is our official legal name. For us, we look at wireless really through the lens of cellular, and cellular, think of that as the largest, biggest connectivity infrastructure, right? So cellular. There are other wireless technologies. You think of if cellular looks like this, Wi-Fi looks like this. Wi-Fi is typically in a building, in a park. It's a shorter range distance for connectivity. Lots of our devices have both cellular connectivity as well as Wi-Fi connectivity. And then you have even shorter range technologies that are also called wireless, that Bluetooth, connecting things to things in shorter ranges, or NFC, where you're like maybe a door key kind of thing. All of those are wireless. But for us, and what we're focused on, are really all the things that are touching cellular networks. Plus. I will say one thing that people don't know that CTIA does, well, let me just say what we do. A big part of what we do is we have amazing people in our organization who work tirelessly with policymakers to make sure that we have enough spectrum. Spectrum is the invisible airwaves controlled by the government, allocated to industry, so that all the things that are in your pocket can connect to a network, and that the industry has all that it needs so that you can stream Netflix from your pocket if you want to. All that being said, I don't do anything with policy. I do have to keep an ear for what's happening in policy. Either a door is open, a door is closed, a window is half cracked, and it changes all the time, almost at breakneck speed. And so does technology. So when I started really focusing on, all right, we do all these amazing things on policy. Another thing that a lot of people don't know that CTIA does is every new device, before it makes it to a market in North America, before it makes it to market in North America, is tested for conformance and performance testing, so that the thing does exactly what it's supposed to do, at the speed it's supposed to do, the quality that it's supposed to do, and all the functionality that it's supposed to provide. CTIA facilitates for more than 30 years all of that device testing through a network of 100 different labs all over the world. Thousands of devices have come through that certification program. Network operators have all provisioned that this is the testing protocol built by the industry to actually make sure that those devices perform how they're supposed to. So I said in 2017, okay, that's really great and wonderful. We have this amazing 30-year-old robust program for testing devices coming in, but what are we doing for the return side? What are we doing on the reverse side? How are we putting a stake in the ground as an industry for what did we expect as an industry, as a wireless industry, for all of those service facilities who were taking in those devices. They would go into the supply chain, and I'm like, okay, where are they going? Who's touching them? How do they know what to do with them? Are we doing the right thing with them? And who's watching, right? So, and how do we know we are being sustainable? Because we have a framework of sort of what that looks like in terms of an expectation being met for all those devices coming back through. Thousands of retail locations that are network operators, thousands of stand-up locations, thousands of other transactions were happening across marketplaces, et cetera. And then all of these facilities were managing both the processing, the remanufacturing, so taking a broken device and actually repairing it for reuse into the marketplace. By way of show of hands, let's do this real quick. By show of hands, how many of you have 2 smartphones? So we have fast, I know, I wish I had less than, I wish I had less, but I have 2. At the end of the day, we are, for most developed countries, we're beyond 100% saturation, meaning more consumers now have more than one mobile phone, meaning a smartphone, in their pocket at all times. Massive quantity of product coming out. In 2000, I'll go back to 2014. I'm gonna do a little history tour here. Back in 2014, it was complete wild, wild west when I was like, okay, what is happening with all of these returns? What is happening with all of these devices? Who's doing what with them? How do we figure out what we're supposed to be doing as an industry together? People were grading devices coming back in, and they were calling them A+++. I'm like, what does that even mean, right? As they were trading across platforms and across buying partners in the secondary market. And today, the number 3 market share device is a used iPhone. So if you think about that in just sheer numbers, it's massive. So what could we do to help support standing up a framework for standards? We had to first identify what those standards were. In the very beginning, I had, I'm going to say, less than 20 companies. I had needed to make sure the network operators, because so much of that trade-in, those units were being returned for a replacement unit or a upgrade unit, because the network operator obviously wants to keep that customer on service, and so there's a lot of trading that happens in the network operator. We have the OEMs out there, where one of them is a retailer, the other one is not really a retailer, although minus a few flagship stores. But even if you looked at 276, Apple stores across North America, there were millions of devices, and many of which were in consumers' hands that didn't live anywhere near an Apple store for repair, right? So consumers start holding on to their devices for longer in 2017, 18, 19. They start holding on to devices for more than 2 years at that point. The chances of a consumer actually either getting a battery replaced, a cracked screen, likely, was close to 80% chance that you were going to actually repair your device before you were ready to trade in inside that 2-year time frame. So where were these people that were actually performing this repair, and how could we actually support them, better support them as an industry? What did that framework look like? So I got agreement with all of the OEMs, and if I had $1 for every time someone told me that Apple was not going to work with us, I would probably be writing a book and retired with the team here. But everybody came to the table because we said, yes, we do have to figure out how we're going to do this work together. So we set aside groups of people to figure out how do we develop grading standards. What were the definitions? What really was an A, cosmetic grade A, B, C, D, end of life? How do we actually qualify a facility? What constitutes the qualification for those processors and facilities that were doing the whether just doing processing or doing processing and remanufacturing? What criteria did we want to put a stake in the ground as an industry? So we set up a group to focus on service facility certifications, or how do we recognize the folks that are actually in that space? And then we had, folks that were really focused on the retail side, because we had all these small retailers that were popping up. Franchise organizations were popping up. How do we know what the best practice is when you're in a same unit repair? Because customer walks in, they want to get a device repaired as a service, repair as a service at retail. What was the expectation as an industry? What kind of security and safety protocols should we have in place in a retail environment? So we had a group set up to talk about that. What did that framework look like? How could we actually acknowledge all these folks that are actually performing this really important service, keeping consumers' devices in working order when they're not ready to actually trade it in yet and they want to seek a repair? Who could they trust? And then we looked at the actual skill set of the technicians. What did we require? What kind of knowledge did they need to know? Baseline knowledge, not, secret sauce of an OEM, not proprietary information from an OEM, but basic skill sets. What skill sets did we need to support a trusted repair experience, both in a retail environment as well as in a service facility environment? So we set up a technician certification program. These all sounded really simple on paper, by the way. All of them took in excess of 2 years from the time that we started the work, created the groups, talked as groups, ongoing meetings. Can I just tell you how many meetings we had on what the definition of a dent was, and the definition of how long the scratch was, and where those actually would fit into a grading scale for cosmetic grading. We launched with all of our published documents, basically announced them in October of 2019 to the world, actually here. Oh, no, it wasn't here, it was in Las Vegas, but at Mobile World Congress, Los Angeles. And then we had launched all the programs to the marketplace, available for anybody who wanted to seek recognition for the services that they were providing, because they were doing it in a way that was, one, sustainable, it was auditable, it was trusted, could be trusted, launched in January of 2020. And of course, 3 months later, COVID, if someone told me I was going to launch something that was very consumer-facing, just ahead of a global pandemic, but interestingly, many states deemed device repair as a service as essential. So we powered through. At this time in 2019 and 2020, even the OEMs were starting to launch how they were going to qualify retailers and others that were performing repair, recognize them through their IRP, the Independent Repair Channel for Apple, Independent Service Provider Channel for Samsung. In the early days, the OEMs would call all parts that were not OEM parts, they would call them all counterfeit. I like to take a little bit of credit for this, by the way. They now call them all aftermarket. Now, they do expect full transparency for the customer, because that's the best practice relative to customer experience. So as long as you don't tell people that it's an OEM, it is an OEM part and it's not an OEM part, the OEM said, okay, fine. Just make sure the consumer knows what they're getting. So we powered through, and I can go on and on about sort of the why we focused on what we focused on, but it was always about the customer experience. It was always about sort of living up to what the market expectation was. And oh, by the way, it consolidates and expands daily almost. It's hard to keep up with. But it was our commitment to make sure that we had a place where the industry could actually convene together so that all of those conversations could take place. It was really important to us that the community included all of the stakeholders, right? OEMs had to be at the table. It was not going to be believable or trusted or real if we did not have all of the OEMs at the table with us. The network operators, very important, massive retailer, right? They're a service provider, yes. They're a network operator, yes. But they're also a massive retailer. We wanted to make sure that they were at the table with us as well. And then all of the folks in the middle in the supply chain, all of the folks, whether it was auction houses moving bulk product from different channels to different channels, insurance providers, whether they were paired up with a network operator or selling an add-on insurance later, that they were actually at the table with us, as well as all of the other reverse logistics folks. Today, I will tell you, we have 82 companies at the table with us. I'm not even trying to get more people at the table with us. It's a big group, but we welcome all because we do believe that they all have a good share of voice relative to what we're now putting a stake in the ground for our program. We do call our program, for the certification side of the house, everything that's consumer facing, we call it WISE, which actually stands for Wireless Industry Service Excellence. And I can go on and on about our community, but I'm going to play a short video so you can sort of see what we look like in action relative to how we've convened everybody together. Reverse logistics and service quality is our commitment as the wireless industry to add standards for quality device repair.
Before CTIA, the device repair industry was the wild, wild west. People in their basements doing YouTube videos and no standardization.
Consumers were bringing in their phones to trade them in, and it was almost like every individual company was making up their own rules.
We're on the same team. We're serving the same customers, and there has to be this cohesive level of service that must thread us together.
I wanted to create a holistic ecosystem for all of the players who are actually supporting a standard in trusted repair. The Reverse Logistics and Service Quality Working Group started with about 12 companies, and today we're well over 70 companies.
It allows smaller companies to have a seat at the table.
Sitting in a room and collaborating with industry veterans that had done it for a long time.
With expertise in reverse logistics that you normally could not get in a room together.
I get to talk to those people, and we get to have in-depth conversations about repairs, parts, disposal.
We're able to wrap our brand around a framework of success.
We now have a common voice, a common language that we can speak.
That really help bring everyone together, and it's just moving the industry forward.
Over the last 5 years, we have definitely climbed a huge mountain. We have academic institutions that are actually now teaching wireless industry service excellence as a course.
WISE certification gives the consumer trust. It's a benchmark.
And by providing that pathway to certification, you just really build that consumer base and trust in what it is that our industry should look like.
The next 5 years is going to be pretty bright, and I see that continuing on 5, 10, 15 years. As the industry grows and changes, RLSQ, I think, will be leading that forefront, making sure that we are all on the same page as a whole.
It's a thankless job a lot of times and tireless work, and they've really pulled off what I would have deemed an impossible feat.
Very proud of our industry for really sinking our teeth into not just talking about how are we going to create a trusted repair as a service experience, a more trusted supply chain, but really walking the talk on sort of what that looks like from a reuse standpoint for sustainability, real sustainability in terms of reused devices. So we've learned a lot. We've grown a lot. I'm really proud of all the work that we've done. There does continue to be market consolidation. This is the thing, when you build something and it is sticky and it starts to have greater adoption, it's a never over game, and that's okay. We do have several insurance carriers who actually have now acquired retailers. So we have that sort of vertical consolidation, not just like companies buying like companies, but downstream and upstream companies acquiring each other to sort of shorten that direct-to-consumer experience, for example. So we continue to serve all of those, but there's a lot of change that continues to come. We've got network operators who have bought repair retailers. We've got, one of the things from an OEM perspective, this is not really a super big surprise that the OEM is very much focused on the customer experience. But if you're an OEM, it's very atypical. I think Apple is an exception, but you're very atypical when you're a manufacturer. You're not typically also the retailer. So they've had to play a completely different role in how they've engaged in that experience by way of what we're doing on the reverse side. So that's been amazing. I will say Apple has been, super amazing. They sponsored all of their Apple authorized service providers to actually come through the WISE certification, even though, their training and certification is very specific to Apple. They wanted to make sure that they were also offering what the industry was serving. Samsung made WISE certification a requirement across all of their channels globally, and we've been servicing that. The consumer demand for trusted repair continues to grow. We don't certify people that are doing repair in a smoke shop. We're not certifying people that are just, hey, I can take you out here. We really do audit the actual environment inside that retailer to make sure that it's what we expect as an industry to put our hat on and what we want to really be proud of relative to an experience. Consumers, so we started with 2 years, now we're at over 34 months. Consumers are holding on to their device. Now, I will tell you, there's a lot of conversation around, e-waste, and I will tell you, smartphones are probably not the number one thing as a problem of e-waste. One of the reasons, I will say, is that the smartphone has basically defied Moore's law of manufacturing. So typically over time, in CE space in general, the cost of manufacturing goes down over time, right? The efficiencies of the manufacturing goes down. In the case of the smartphone, we keep asking that remote control that's in your pocket to do more, which is stabilized at a high level, $800 to $900 to almost $1,100, depending on the device, has stabilized that at a high price, which is really driving the secondary market even more in terms of all of those coming back through various return channels, various auction channels, various remanufacturing channels, lots of folks that are selling one for one on marketplaces today, because the price and the value of that device is greater than 34 months, equal to or greater than 34 months. Which is why also it was really important that we get it right as an industry, knowing the longevity of the individual unit that stays into the marketplace is very long, and especially very long in the CE space in general. So the evolution isn't over, as I said. This is an always and forever state now. We are looking at, I know there was some mention of various regulations, whether it's California, various states have passed different bills pointing to different things that different parts of our industry should be abiding by. We are watching what's happening in the EU. I just came back from Europe last week. I did meet with some folks in France specific to what's happening in the EU. We'll make sure that all of our programming is actually in alignment with that. But what I can tell you from the policymaker side, they're actually looking inside industry, even if they've written policy with or without a lot of advice from industry in some cases. They're looking for ways that they can actually meet now the requirements of the policies that they've created. Finding ways or framework for, whether it's for certification, accreditation, curriculum, whatever that looks like that they want to get a check mark. These are some of the conversations that we're now having, is how they can actually utilize the programming that we've already set up as an industry to serve retailers, same unit repair individuals, the service facilities, the processing centers, the marketplaces, and everything in between. I know it was mentioned in a couple of slides or a couple of other presentations today, again, this $890 billion in returns. Mobile devices were certainly a big part of that. And I will say most of those, the majority of those, have made their way back through in some way, shape, or form through the supply chain into the secondary market. We have lots of inquiries. I get the most random inquiries. I need 100,000 iPhone 12s. Like, I know where they are. I don't know where they are. But I know that some people that you should probably talk to. So we know there's a lot of product moving all over the country, all over between marketplaces, between trading partners, and certainly between countries. So we are keeping an eye on that as well. And as I said, it always pains me, and I think we do have a massive problem in terms of e-waste. But for the most part, I'm going to tell you, with the high price of this smartphone, it is most likely not the smartphone that's landing up in the landfills. Too many people are still looking for aged product. We kind of look at the whole, sustainability. How do we rethink what we're doing as an industry? Again, it's never over, even though we've published, even though we have a framework. It is something that's visited. As some of you that are in the room that are in our working groups, you know that we meet monthly in many of our working groups. And we're constantly refining and making sure that we're relevant for what the marketplace needs right now to make sure that we're maintaining our commitment to sustainability. So, we built all of this from the industry for the industry. We made sure that it was a voluntary standard. I never wanted to approach this as a policy-making exercise. Policymakers can use it if they want to, but that was never the impetus. The impetus was really about how do we stand in our own 2 feet and say, this is who we want to be, and this is the best way that we want to put our foot forward together as an industry. We wanted to promote the best practices relative to safety, security, recycling, even the basics of device diagnosis, in terms of making sure that that is something that can transcend across even new folks that are entering the workforce today, that need to work in the stores, that folks that are actually looking to hire in the various facilities that are managing all of that processing and the returns. So we're very excited with our workforce development programs where we've gotten adoption, not just in a college campus is teaching it today. We've got the Oakland Unified School District is now teaching their students this curriculum. We didn't actually build it for that reason, but this has been a really nice output. We've got other nonprofits that are using it as a training vehicle. We also wanted it to be inclusive for all. I didn't just build this for the big franchise organizations. I didn't build it for the big retailers. We wanted to make sure everyone, even if it was just a single standalone mom and pop store in Main Street of Paducah, Kentucky, had the same access to the same industry standards as any other major retailer. Our whole goal is to make sure that we're advocating for customer integrity. So again, at the end of the day, just tell the customer what they have. Tell them what they're getting and be as transparent as possible with it. That's the best possible customer experience. Today, I'm proud to say we have 24,000 certified technicians across 2,400 certified retail stores. We have 25 large, massive remanufacturing facilities that we recognize in our WISE program. So we feel like we're in a unique position to continue to say this is what we expect for trusted repair, and we'll stay at it. We are looking to continue to grow globally. We have a few folks that have adopted the program globally. We have others across Europe and the UK that are leaning into the program, and we're really excited about bringing them on board. We also have done a lot of work with the marketplaces. So we built our grading scales for cosmetic. We're tackling all of the nuances of functionality because it's a lot more complicated than it actually sounds, defining what something functional is or isn't. So that is really great for the supply chain, and we're actually working on how do we actually make that mean something to the consumer. So whether you are on an Amazon platform or a Walmart platform, or you're on eBay platform, whatever platform that you happen to be on, that we actually find a way to actually standardize some of that language in a way that helps all consumers understand what they're buying when they're pursuing secondary product. And with that, that's my story.
If that all sounds amazing to you like it does to me, what they've done at CTIA and what Michelle has done in her work, this is what trade associations do. And we're very fortunate to now be part of the National Retail Federation because this is what they do. They lobby, they make things happen, they help create better ways to get things done. And I've been watching Michelle and what she's accomplished, wishing for more resources. And now we're a little closer. So I think our first step, I think there's, first step is, nope, you should, no, okay, you can stay close. Stay close. First step is we are going to be doing a drawing. And I have a couple of guests from eBay here. Come on up on stage. We'll be doing the drawing. And I have some help so that we don't slip. All right. Hi, Emily.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Come on over here. We're going to let you draw.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I need to push the next slide and acknowledge that we are giving away 4 eBay gift cards. Scott, are you in the room? Those are eBay gift cards. Your card's not allowed in here, but... All right, go ahead. You pull. Yeah, please. I will try. I know it's somebody with, let's see, the company is Core Channel. And on the flip side, it says Gary Strauss from Core Channel is winner number 1 on the eBay gift card. Absolutely. We're not bringing you up for the pictures on this one. You can find the prizes at the help desk. The next one, this is interesting company, Zerust and Xscore. Kevin Landmark, PhD. I'm impressed. Are you in the room, Kevin? Congratulations on second gift card for eBay. This is the last $100 one, as Emily has said. And Garrett Gray, I know you're here from Best Buy. I don't know if you're in the room right now or in a lot of meetings, but everyone congratulate Garrett Gray. All right.
This is the 50.
This is the 50, okay. All right, and we have one more gift card. It's a $50 gift card, and in this case, Levitt Liquidators, Raymond Roberts, congratulations. And you're staying.
Can you let them know that we'll be in Lombada if they'd like to speak to us?
All right, now I believe we have some more things to draw, and Emily is staying with us to help us. Again, we love how HP and Dell and others come forward. Not only are they good voices on the executive council that we have, but they provide so many things, and we appreciate that. And I hope all of you do as well. Sims has contributed, and Dell's contributed every board, and tomorrow Amazon has contributed. So we'll spin it one more time. Manage not to fall open. Okay. All right, so the wireless headset, I happen to use one of these in the office, and they are terrific. And that winner is Lori Cook from Goodwill of North Georgia, my home state. Lori, congratulations. Next one. The Poly Studio webcam, HP's, and these are refurbished, but they are great products. Joanne Carncross, I think it's Joanne Carncross at BidPath, our colleagues from the UK. Joanne Carncross, all right? And the HP Poly Voyager wireless headset again, another one. This one, Future Dial, Darren Medanek. Are you here? I think you're here. Congratulations to Darren Medanek from Future Dial. We're it. Thank you, Emily, very, very much. And thank you, eBay, for your contribution. Good session today.
Can I invite everyone to the Lombada room if they'd like to meet with me and my team?
Absolutely. That's an invitation from eBay. You can join her in their Lombada room and one of the meeting rooms. All right. I love to have Michelle here for this, and I love to have the opportunity to do this once again with you. We've been doing these Excellence Awards for about 6 years, and they've grown. And as I said, we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 plus companies that have nominated themselves. You can see their names on there. I will tell you, every one of them is worthy of an award, and we really appreciate all the work that went into these nominations, many of them. And I have to say thank you for making them about the actions, the issues that you solved, and the results, and not just your advertising or marketing stuff, okay? So thank you for giving us really good nominations and making our jobs a lot harder to figure out who is a winner. So what I'd like to do is, as you see all the names that are there, we're gonna have the winners come up. We've got photographers ready. Michelle and I are gonna help do the awards, and we're so proud of the work that's been done by CTIA, and I really, again, appreciate the Vanna White help that I've got today. So let's go forward. We'll show 2024 winners first. That Trove was the winner of the Operational Excellence Award. I just want to set that stage that you can see it's awarded to the company that demonstrates leadership in effective execution of reverse logistics. Again, many companies nominated here, and the 2025 winner, the Innovation Solution, Certus Software. Are you in the room? Certus. Certus Software from Europe. Do we have them? I'm not seeing, I see bright lights, but I do not see Certus. All right, I think they have a booth here, so I'm not sure. Somebody let Certus know, and we'll get pictures when they come on out. But Certus Software really demonstrated innovation in their solutions partner. Their work that they've done, the software they've created is fantastic. And there's many, many companies who do this. Again, it was really hard to make a choice, but we did settle on that. Again, proud of 2024, the RLA, is this out of order? Renovations Solutions Partner Award. Last year, this goes to the company that provides the most effective and innovative solutions and tools for supporting reverse education. Our colleagues at GoTRG have become Return Pro. They have made quite a presence with themselves in this year, but 2025 winner here. Oh, we do have them out of order. I apologize. It's slightly out of order. So the Operational Excellence Award for 2025 goes to a tie between DHL and Triage Partners. Are you here? DHL and Triage Partners. Come on up, April, here. And do we have Triage Partners? Dennis, come on up on stage. We'll take you one at a time. Congratulations. The award nomination from DHL was incredibly detailed. Some of it over my head, but we did work it out. So we'll take Dennis first and give the award to Triage Partners. Oh, you're okay. Then I think we might have known that. Okay. So Dennis, I think you should be definitely taking this award. And the DHL, they're all up here. They're all up here. Thank you. April, I'll let you take this one. All right, Triage Partners and DHL on stage together for the photographers. You guys are there somewhere, right? We're really, really proud of the work they've done. All right. Thank you so much. You've done great sessions. Thank you all for your work. All right. Thank you, James. Thank you, Daniela. Chris, congratulations. Patrick, thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
April, great
Appreciate it.
session today, too. All right. All right. All right, we got that worked out. Somebody let me know if Certus comes in for the correct innovation award, what? All right, perfect. All right, in addition to these two major reverse logistics awards, we also recognize, and these are industry partner awards, let me clarify. So the industry partners have a shot at 3 different awards, and this is the Green Reverse Logistics Award, and we did it for the company that demonstrates leadership in this space. Again, this is a challenge. So many of you have really focused on becoming green companies and providing that kind of a service. Last year, it was On Process, which is now part of Accenture, and the 2025 Reverse Logistics Green Reverse Logistics Award goes to Sun King. Are you in the room? Sun King? Sun King. Amazing work by Sun King in the last few years. So come on up for the team. This nomination was amazing, and we're really proud of it. Bring you on up, take some pictures. Took a while to get them to be members, but once they joined us, thank you. Thank you, Kylie. Christina, who wants to hold the award? Phil? Sure. All right, let's take. Kaylee. Oh, Kaylee. I think Kaylee wrote a lot of that award, didn't she? I think I saw her name initials in many places, so great. Congratulations. Thank you. All right. All right. Good to go? All right, good to go. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for all your hard work. Really appreciate it. Amazing. Thank you. All right. All right, we won't make Michelle stand on her heels too much longer. We've got a few more to go, but we're going to move into the Circular Economy Award was created specifically for retailers and manufacturers who take back product and do something with it. It's pretty obvious, right? But it is a retailer or manufacturer only award. We needed to recognize them because they're generally not included in the other categories or recognized for the work they've done to deal with end-of-life products. And last year's award went to Julie Ryan and HP, and we were really proud of them for that one. This year's 2025 Circular Economy Award goes to another tie. Goodwill, Keystone, and Logitech. If you're here, come on up. Ed, I know you're in the room, or you should be. And also Sakni, are you in the room? Yes, Sakni is here from Logitech. Come on up. We're really proud of this award. And again, retailers and manufacturers, and they both provided excellent awards and nominations. It really did a lot of work. Sakni, really proud of what you've submitted, what you've done. Hi, Alessandra. And we'll give, this one is Logitech. Ed? Oh, thank you. I love Goodwill's approach to this, the work we do. They call themselves, of course, the original circular economy store about 100 years ago, and the work that they've done. So thank you. All right. All right. I also want to acknowledge Sakni is one of the leaders of the Women's Committee, the Women's Reverse Logistics Committee, and we appreciate the work she does there. I think we're down to just a couple, okay? Next award is education. And I've said it and I'll say it again. You've all asked for education over the years. That was the #1 request. We've really moved forward. James Stock, last year's winner. If you don't know, James Stock is the first person, academia or anywhere, to use the term reverse logistics in a book in the early 1990s. I think I still have that book. So we're really proud of the work that they've done, academics, and we focus on education. How do we help you all do a better job and help your people do a better job? And we talked about the master class we offered, the Going Circular book we gave you all last year. the NRF's work to create a reverse logistics operation course, and the work that's being done by American Public University, who I believe are here as well, and offer that bachelor's and master's degree. This year's winner, again, the nominations came from the community, and this year's winner, I hope he's in the room, Rich Bulger. Are you here, Rich? Are you in the room? Rich Bulger has done amazing work. And I want to make sure I don't see him yet. Ah, coming around this side. We really appreciate what Rich has done to help advance what we do. Rich served on the board for a while, and Rich has been independent for just a little bit, but he's traveling the world talking about the RLA essentials. Rich, we're really proud, man.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, let's do it this way. Naomi here with you?
She is.
All right, and Rich, congratulations. Thank you so much, all right? Advancing education in reverse logistics and offering so much information. And it's not all out of the goodness of his heart, but a lot of it is, folks. The last year, Rich has been traveling around the world teaching this class, offering this information. And in his spare time has an important, great family back in the Dallas area with Naomi and his 2 children. So a lot of energy there. All right, so that's the Education Award. We come to the last award. Oh, did Curtis come in the room? Yes. Curtis, if you're in the room, come on up. We've got your award here. It's not on the screen, but if you're here in the room. Not here yet. Okay. All right. Then we'll move to the last award that we're going to acknowledge. And I love the fact that this award is focused on people who've given a lifetime of work to advance reverse logistics. And I don't want to give away ages, but I know that Julie Ryan has put in over 25 years in this industry. With HP, and I think it was even Compaq before that, which got acquired by HP. And there's that kind of commitment by certain individuals. And Julie was part of that entourage back in 2016 when the RLA show was blended into another show. And we all might have gone to a bar or something, and I listened to 10 or 15 of these industry voices, including Julie's, tell us we need our own show, we need our own event, we need our own association, and that led to me taking over the organization and rebuilding it almost from scratch, but so proud that I have a great team because I'm up here now, fortunately, with a lot of great help making this happen, and that great help includes recognition of the Lifetime Achievement Award winner this year, and it goes to Mr. Tom Marr. Are you here with us, Tom, in the room? Tom is in the room somewhere, right? Can we get Tom up on stage? He's coming in from the left side. Fantastic. He was sitting there with Rich, of course. Perfect for excellence winners to sit together and be an important part of this. If you don't know, Tom was for years at Dell. You probably know that. And Tom is that voice in my head that kept saying, do this right, do this better. He was abusive. Thank you, Tom. Okay, thank you so much, Tom. I'm really proud of it. And I'm gonna, all right. Yes. Certus is in the room. Please come on up, Certus Software, and let's give them another round of applause. This is the Innovation Solution winner. We're proud to have you here from Europe. We are, Ed, thank you so much. We got the award right here. I just want to recognize that we consider ourselves global, and this is a recognition of it as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Working hard in your booth, and you got you in here, though. Perfect. All right. That's it. Thank you so much, Michelle, for your help. I think, yes, absolutely. She deserves recognition for that as well. I think this is the last slide to remind you that from here, you get to spend the next hour or so enjoying some hors d'oeuvres, some drinks. You have 2 tickets for tonight in your badge. If you run out, find me or find one of the people, but I'll be easier to spot probably than most of them. And please vote. The voting closes. We'll hold it open for another 10, 15 minutes in your app for the startup. Oh, it closes at 7. Thank you, Felicia. So do the voting for the best startup because the Judges Award, People's Award tomorrow, and also tomorrow, Amazon Keynote, more raffles, and more announcements. So join us tomorrow, and thank you all very much.